Mr. Speaker, I'm not a betting person, but I would bet that every single one of us in this chamber has had a personal brush with mental health, whether in our families, our friends, or ourselves. I have. And perhaps that's why this is personal.
Sometimes with a medical leave.
Found that patients with more optimism.
Online tool developed by the
report. The word
patients have supported him to be more open about the mental health challenges that they or their loved ones face. Finally, I share the story of C, as recounted to me by his mother, my Woodlands resident. He was a playful child who liked to play pranks on people. But at the tender age of 14, he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder after his first suicide attempt. His condition deteriorated further when he entered NS and turned 18 when he was transitioned from the child guidance clinic to IMH. He hated going to IMH. He didn't feel like he belonged with all those crazy people he would see in the waiting rooms. He attempted suicide again and was discharged from NS. He started working but found it difficult to hold down jobs. Of course, he never declared his condition. When he became unstable due to anxiety, employers considered him a risk and terminated his employment. He had no one to turn to at work who understood. Despite all these struggles, C got married and he and his wife were on a BTO flat and had a baby. His wife was aware of his condition and supported him, making sure he took his medication. And his mother supported him financially. But his mother-in-law started belittling him, calling him a useless idiot and accusing him of faking illness so he didn't have to work, even after his mother went to see her to try and make her understand. They accorded him little dignity and respect, and even kept his baby from him. The stresses of his life in trying to keep his job, trying to get his colleagues, bosses, and in-laws to understand his bipolar disorder, the weight gain due to his medications, led him to eventually succumb to taking meth to cope with his anxiety. He wanted to stop, but when he sought help, the IMH hotline told him to get help from NEMS for addiction, but NEMS told him they couldn't help him with addiction because of his bipolar condition. Back home, he did seem better. He asked for his favorite food and started eating again. He talked about plans for the future. But 2 days after coming back, in the evening, he went for a walk. He did not allow his mother to accompany him, insisting he was fine. But a couple of hours later, his mother received his suicide notes over WhatsApp. It said he could not bear the cravings any longer, and he did not want to be a burden to his family any longer. C ended his life by hanging himself in the stairwell of the multi-story car park that evening. It was his own brother who found him after a frantic search. These stories can be hard to listen to, but they are real and they point to the scale and complexity of the challenge. And this is why Dr. Wan Rizal, Dr. Tan Wu Ming, Mr. Yip Han Wing, Mr. Edward Chia and I have filed this motion, and why so many members are rising to speak. No amount of government interventions in new structures, new care models, new resources, new legislations will work if we don't as a society transform. If we don't as a society become more aware of what people around us are going through. And make it safe for people to be more open about the mental health challenges that they or their loved ones face. If we don't accept that not everyone is able to deal with it, no matter how much they try. If we don't become more understanding and compassionate. If we don't stand together to act to improve the mental health and well-being of every Singaporean.